In this lesson, we'll go over the basic parts of a paraglider and their names. This diagram comes from the manual of the Ozone Mojo 6 Paraglider. The Mojo 6 is a Class A paraglider, and you can download this manual directly from the Ozone website. The top surface of the paraglider is called the upper surface, or extrados. This is the part facing upwards, and it bears the most load. It's where the main lift forces act, so it's also the part of the paraglider that wears out the most. For this reason, manufacturers use thicker fabric on the upper surface than on the lower. The lower surface, or intrados, is the bottom part of the paraglider, the side you can see from below. This is also where you'll usually see any logos if there's advertising on the paraglider. The trailing edge is the back edge of the paraglider. Controlling the trailing edge allows us to adjust the angle of attack, which lets us turn and manage speed. The leading edge is the front edge, and this part experiences the highest lift forces. That's why it's also the most delicate part and needs extra care. This edge has cells or openings, which allow air to enter and inflate the paraglider, giving it the aerodynamic shape of a wing. Only the leading edge has these cells. The rest of the paraglider is sealed, so once it's pressurized in flight, it stays inflated. The lines of the paraglider, referred to as chords in this manual, are more commonly just called lines. We have upper lines, intermediate lines, and brake lines. It's worth noting that the main lines can handle up to 200 kilos, while smaller lines support up to 60 kilos. In some regions, they're also called risers. The paraglider has two risers, one on each side, connecting us to the lines. Older paragliders had 4 risers, A, B, C, and D. Newer ones, particularly beginner models, usually have only 3, A, B, and C. The first riser, the A riser, connects to the leading edge and is often split to make maneuvers like big ears easier. Then there are the B risers, which we don't use at the moment but are essential for the B stall, a maneuver where you pull the B risers to create a partial stall and lose altitude. B risers can also help stop the paraglider from inflating if there's a lot of wind. Since modern paragliders generally have just 3 risers, the last riser is the C riser. This is useful if, for instance, a brake line breaks. You can use the C riser to control by pulling it back as a substitute brake. At the end, we have the brake handle. By pulling on the brakes, we can turn and adjust speed as the brake handle connects to the trailing edge, changing the paraglider's angle of attack when pulled. On the front of the riser, we have the speed system, which consists of pulleys, a line, and a hook. This hook connects to the speed bar on the harness, and pressing it lowers the A risers and partly lowers the B risers, which drops the leading edge and increases speed. The riser has a main attachment point connected to the carabiners on our harness. Finally, the paraglider has tips or stabilizers, which are just the outermost ends of the wing. That's essentially it when it comes to the parts of the paraglider itself. We haven't covered other equipment, like the harness or the reserve, but as far as the paraglider is concerned, that's everything. I almost forgot about the butthole. What is that? It's basically a small pocket in the stabilizer, usually closed with Velcro, where sand, dirt, or debris that accumulates in the wing can be removed. This little pocket or opening that closes with Velcro, and that's all you need to know about your paraglider's parts. Remember to take good care of it, especially the cells and leading edge, and keep it clean inside and out. That's what the rear hole is for.